Hello! In this video, I'll show you how to design a software feature from scratch using Reqode. Here we have a new project with pre-configured artifact templates. We'll use the AI Analyst Assistant to produce specifications for our new software product, and the AI wireframe drawer to create UI wireframes. For this demo, we'll start with user authentication and sign-up features. Then we'll ask the AI Analyst to generate task management features, and finally, we'll create a dashboard. So let's begin with user features. We'll use a medium reasoning level and ask questions mode. In this mode, the Analyst Assistant will ask you a series of questions before proceeding with the specifications. Depending on the size and complexity of the feature, it may ask up to 5 rounds of questions, with up to 20 questions in each round. However, you can also ask it to stop asking questions and let it decide how to proceed. All right, let's start. The AI Analyst will first check existing specifications and source code related to this task. As you can see, it found no existing authentication or sign-up requirements, and no relevant source code in either the back-end or front-end subsystems. So it will build everything from scratch. Now the questions are ready. You can review the preliminary plan and the first set of questions used to clarify the requirements. It starts with scope clarification, followed by more detailed questions. We can choose one of the suggested options for each question or provide our own answer. Here it asks about account status before email verification. I prefer to allow limited access until the email is verified. Let's submit the responses. Now we have an updated plan. Since we chose to allow access without verification, the Analyst Assistant adjusts the configuration accordingly. Here's another set of questions. Let's clarify a few more things. For example, let's set rate limits. We'll choose one of the suggested options. Great. Now the Analyst Assistant has no further questions and is ready to proceed. Let's click Proceed and wait for the results. Depending on complexity, this may take a few minutes. The Analyst Assistant has suggested a new user authentication module with a set of features, including sign-up, login, logout, and more. All features follow the predefined templates. It also suggested new data entities: user, verification token, session, and a user status enum. For the UI, it generated 2 interfaces for the initial version: a login form and a sign-up form. And finally, it generated a set of API method specifications to support these features. Let's apply the changes. When you click Apply, all selected changes are added to the project. Now we can explore the specifications in their respective sections. In the Features section, we can see the new feature specifications. In the Data Entities section, we have the new entities. We can also switch to a diagram view to explore relationships between them. In the User Interfaces section, we can review the new interfaces. Just like with data entities, we can switch to a diagram view to see transitions between screens. Right now, we only have 2 screens, so there are no transitions yet. They will appear later. At this point, the UI contains only textual specifications. We can ask the AI wireframe drawer to generate wireframes based on these specs. Let's do that and come back to it later. Now let's go back to features and ask the Analyst Assistant to create basic task management functionality. As you can see, this time the Assistant detects existing artifacts and analyzes them before generating questions. We'll use Ask Questions mode again, so let's review and confirm the answers. I'll adjust a few assumptions and continue. I'll speed up the video here since you already know how this works. All right, the Assistant is done. It has generated a new task management module with features such as Create, View, Edit, and more. It also added a task entity and a task status enum. As you can see, the task entity is linked to the previously created user entity. New user interfaces were also generated: a task list, task details view, and a create/edit form. And of course, a corresponding set of API methods. Let's apply the changes and review the results. Now we can see the task management module in the Features section. In Data Entities, we have the new task entity. And in User Interfaces, we now see the new screens along with defined transitions. Oh, and we also asked the wireframe drawer to generate wireframes. Let's check them. Here's the sign-up form. It generates a wireframe for each UI state defined in the specification. Looks good. Let's apply it. Let's also check the login form. That looks correct as well. We'll apply it. Now that we have more UI screens, let's generate wireframes for them too. While that's processing, let's ask the Analyst Assistant for one more thing. We don't yet have a dashboard or a home screen, so let's ask it to generate dashboard specifications. As you can see, it analyzes the existing artifacts first. I'll speed this part up. All right, here are the results. This time, we not only have new artifacts but also updates to existing ones. We can enable diff mode to see what has changed. For example, the assistant updated some authentication features by linking them to the new dashboard and adding logic to redirect users to the dashboard after login or sign up. It also added a new dashboard feature and a corresponding UI. Let's apply these changes. Now we have a dashboard feature inside the task management module. Let's move it to the top. There are no changes in data entities, but in user interfaces we now see the dashboard screen and transitions from login and sign up to the dashboard, and from the dashboard to other screens. This is how a detailed product vision gradually takes shape. Let's check the wireframes. Here we have a task list, a task form, and a task detail view. Finally, let's generate a wireframe for the dashboard. This time, I'll show how the wireframe draw works. Like the Analyst Assistant, it analyzes existing artifacts related to the selected UI. You can also use Ask Questions mode here, but since we already have detailed specifications, it's not necessary. Great. The wireframes for the dashboard are ready. We can edit them before applying or later in the UI details view. Let's apply. Now we have a complete UI scheme with wireframes. We can click on any element in the diagram to see details, navigate to related features, and explore specifications from any point in the project. Let's go back to the features section. Later, once we configure verification and connect code repositories, we'll see warnings and alignment status between specifications and code. You can also customize the view by adding columns like issues, feature status, and more. The traceability view lets you explore relationships between artifacts in a two-column layout, with features on the left and related artifacts on the right. Other Reqode features will be covered in upcoming videos. Thank you for watching.